Jamie is a young man from Pennsylvania who lives in New York and works as an editor at a prestigious magazine. His life is full of chaos and vice. He is addicted to night parties and cocaine. His best friend, Ted Allagash, is a wealthy and liberated young man with whom Jamie often hangs out in clubs and bars. Together, they immerse themselves in a world of endless entertainment, where drugs and alcohol become an integral part of their daily lives. At work, Jamie is constantly late and fails to meet deadlines, which causes dissatisfaction with his boss, the strict and demanding Clara Tillinghast. Their relationship is tense and professional, with no hint of friendship. Jamie feels pressure because of his constant mistakes, but he is unable to change his lifestyle. Jamie's personal life is also far from stable. His wife Amanda, a young and promising model, left him 2 months ago, leaving him depressed. In addition, his mother died of cancer a year ago, an event that left a deep mark on Jamie's soul, which he cannot come to terms with. At the same time, he closely follows newspaper stories about a woman in a coma who unexpectedly turned out to be pregnant, which arouses his particular interest and a certain sense of involvement. Ted asks Jamie to do him a favor and go on a date with his cousin Vicky, who recently arrived in the city from the provinces. This is so that Ted can spend time with a woman he describes as a former penthouse model. Jamie, despite his inner doubts, agrees and goes to meet Vicky. The date goes quite well. Vicky is a girl with a bright personality and charming simplicity, which makes Jamie forget about his problems for a while and even refuse to use cocaine that evening. A mutual attraction develops between them, which brings Jamie a sincere feeling of happiness for the first time in a long time. At the end of the evening, Vicky kisses him and returns to her student dorm in the northern part of the state. Meanwhile, work continues to deteriorate. Jamie is eventually fired from the magazine for poor performance and negligence. After losing his job, he begins to sink deeper into a vicious cycle of alcohol and drugs. One of his co-workers, Megan, shows him attention and tries to help him find a new job. She invites Jamie to dinner, where she talks about his life and the reasons for his breakup with Amanda. Jamie explains that moving to the big city, his mother's death, and a creative crisis caused by his inability to finish his novel were the main factors in his downfall. This time, Jamie's younger brother, Michael, arrives in town to find him and help him. Jamie initially ignores his calls, but Michael still comes to Jamie's apartment, which irritates him. Tension arises between the brothers. Jamie is angry with Michael for what he believes to be neglecting the family after their mother's death. Jamie refuses to talk about his experiences and feelings. When Michael leaves to take a shower, Jamie receives a call from Ted inviting him to a party. Ted informs him that Amanda is also there, which prompts Jamie to immediately go to the party. The atmosphere at the party is tense. Jamie runs into Amanda, who is cold and distant. During the event, he starts bleeding from his nose, and Ted helps him get to the bathroom. There, looking in the mirror, Jamie realizes the depth of his problems and feels the need to talk to someone about his condition. He calls Vicky and confesses that he and Michael helped his mother end her suffering by arranging for her euthanasia, which was a difficult ordeal for him. Vicky expresses sympathy and offers support. Leaving the bathroom, Jamie declines Ted's offer to stay and spend time with him and loudly declares to everyone that Amanda and Ted are perfect for each other. After that, he leaves the party alone. Jamie begins to wander the streets of New York until dawn, immersed in thoughts and reflections about his life. He stops at the loading area of a large bakery, exchanges his sunglasses for a baguette, and heads to the pier, where he sits and looks at the night city across the river. At that moment, he decides it's time to change his life and get it back on track. At the end of the film, there is a news story about a woman in a coma who unexpectedly gave birth to a healthy baby, an event that brings a note of hope and ends the film on an optimistic note.